At first, if you don't succeed, dust yourself up and try again. Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today we'll be talking chocolate ganache, the do's and the don'ts. So I'm going to tag this series Chocolate Ganache Diaries because I'm perfecting my chocolate ganache and I want to take you through the journey. Okay, so walk with me. This is my first time making ganache and the experience was something else. It's trending now, and I said, okay, I won't be left behind now. Everybody, every baker I know on Instagram is doing ganache. So why have I not started? So I took up the challenge to, I wanted to challenge myself to do this. I'm always scared anything chocolate. I know I don't like the outcome because I know the way it ends up most times because of the kind of weather we have here in my country. So, but I decided to, do this. Okay, now this was my first attempt on ganache, and it didn't end well. It didn't end well, but I took it upon myself that it's a learning process. You don't we don't know it all. We learn every day. I keep telling everybody that I come across, even as an upcoming baker, like you're just starting cakes today, and you just can't get it all. Even the pros are still learning each day. Like even as human, you learn every day. So this was my first attempt. So the mistake I made in this particular cake on this particular cake was the moment I dissolved the cream and the chocolate, it was still very warm. Then I applied it on my cake. It took me about 1 hour to even get to this stage. I kept applying, applying, applying. So if you made this mistake before, it's because you're not supposed to use the chocolate ganache in that watery form. Okay, liquid. It was still in that liquid form. Like if you, it's like the chocolate you use for drip. I didn't realize that I'm supposed to allow it to chill, maybe like an hour, no, so that it thickens before I can apply it on my cake. That's when it's called ganache. Not That's why it's called ganache cream, not ganache drip. So what I used in this video, in this cake for it to look this way is drip. It's not the cream because it was really runny and I applied it on the cake. It took me forever to even get it to this stage. I kept running my hands through it, used steamer just for it to be smooth. It was not coming together, but I gave up at some point. But the outcome of the cake was not that entirely bad. It was still okay, but if you're someone that really likes things to be 100%, you know that no, this is not what I wanted. But I didn't have any other choice. I can't look at the cake. I can't go back all over again to do the cake. So now, my second attempt, I said, no, we're not going to do that thing anymore. So I googled some tips and tricks, and that was why I found out that you're not supposed to use it in that form. You're supposed to allow it to thicken a bit. Once you bring it out of the microwave, you allow it to rest. You can leave it to the next day, and when you want to use it, just bring it out and microwave it a bit. Then it's a cream, not drip. So I went in to fill my cakes with the fillings that the customer ordered, and I applied the ganache. My goodness. When I saw the outcome of this one, I was literally dancing because I knew what I went through the other time. I went through something. It was not a happy day for me. I felt, when you're doing something and you're not getting it, I was so overwhelmed, stressed out. But this one was just easy breezy. That's why, it's always a learning curve for everybody. You just learn every day. You don't take things like, oh, I didn't succeed in this one, then maybe I'm not good at it. You keep trying. Imagine my second attempt. You see the difference. It went from 0 to 100. I'm shocked at the outcome because what I did, and it was just a difference of 2 days. I did that first one like just barely 2 days, and this one I like what? It's just little mistakes, and I corrected it, and this was the outcome. Now, one major thing about this cake was the customer really enjoyed it. Now, guys, if you've not tried ganache, this is your cue to start giving your customer ganache fondant. Say bye bye to the buttercream. except the customer doesn't want it, except the customer doesn't want to pay high for your cakes. Because if you're using ganache like this, you're definitely going to charge higher. It's not the same price with buttercream. Okay, now I would tell any customer to go for ganache than the cream, the buttercream, because for the buttercream you will not be able to apply so much fillings because it might slide off. Now, ganache is going to hold all your feelings, no matter any amount of feelings you had into your fondant cake. So now, imagine cutting through every layer, and there's feelings, and the cake is yummy. You know what that means? The customer will be in cake heaven. So this is highly recommendable for your customers. If you not recommended this for your customer, please start advertising it, start marketing it for your customers. I bet you're going to have more increase in sales. Your customers will be able to get enough of the taste, so they are going to be ordering more and more, and that is equal to more sales for you. So, guys, I'll be making more videos on this ganache series. So, the more I get orders on ganache, I'll be showing you the video and be showing you my progress. Now, you see what the cake looks like. Like it makes your fondant covering very easy. You will not have too much air bubbles because the covering will just be seamless. Just wrap. You don't need to check if your cakes, you're using moist cake like red velvet chocolate in between the layers. You don't need to bother if you don't need to bother concern yourself if any lines of those layers will be showing. Everything will be sealed up, and that is the beauty of ganache. So if you've not started marketing it, please, this is July. You need to start marketing it ASAP. So I'll be making more videos as I progress. I want you to see my growth in ganache cake, fondant cake. So I'm making more videos. So see you in my next video, guys. Bye for now.